right, welcome to the Boot Hill Sports Network. I'll take the over podcast. Hey, a two-man crew tonight. We
Hey,
got Doug
hey,
Edwards. I'm Mark Manley. What's going on, Dougie?
man, I don't know. Watching a little bit of this Tar Heel basketball here.
Boy, it's been a good night for basketball. We already had two upsets. Tennessee went down to Mississippi State, and then what was the other one?
Uh, was it
Kansas went down.
Kansas lost.
Yeah, Kansas just went down too.
I was just thinking Purdue lost.
To Central Florida. I bet that's their biggest win in program history.
That's got to be, yeah.
Yeah, because I know they were talking about they previously beat a number 5 team, but this is their first year in the Big 12 in basketball. So that's a big win there over a good Kansas program.
Yeah, it's been a lot of upsets already. 4 of the top 5 have already lost this week.
Yeah, Purdue got beat.
Number 7's in a battle here.
Right now.
Yeah, Tennessee 5, number 1 Purdue.
Houston
number 2 got their first loss.
Yeah,
and all but UConn, they were winning pretty handily a while ago.
Well, schedules don't get any easier, so
that's conference play.
Yes, that's right. All right, man, we'll talk a little bit about the national title game. Of course, congratulations to Michigan Wolverines and that national title winner. What do you think, Dougie?
Well, it isn't the way I expected it. I thought it'd be a lot closer game and a little higher score. And, I took Washington in the over. I think we all took the over.
Yeah.
55.5. It didn't quite make it. So I was kind of surprised the way Michigan handled them.
Yeah, that defense was tough, man. They was all over Penix all night, man. He had to hurry a lot of throws, man.
Yeah,
timing was disrupted big time.
Yeah. Yeah, he was uncomfortable for sure.
Yeah, because he missed a wide open target that he never would miss.
But with none of us scoring, I claim the bowl championship.
Yes, you do.
Title. So I'll take that.
I'll take second instead of last. Woo-hoo!
Yeah. I think John.
All right, hey, coaching carousel, man. Of course, got breaking news later this afternoon as Nick Saban is going to retire.
I was shocked at that.
Yeah, NFL coaching carousel as well. But Saban will retire with, I believe, 7 national championships. That's right. 6 with Bama, 1 with LSU.
That's right.
Man, I don't think anybody else will be able to do that.
LSU should have. LSU, when they had him, they should have just gave him a blank check and kept him away from the NFL right then. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it would have paid for itself in the long run. He's increased attendance at the school. He's increased the sales of merchandise. I mean, you can't really put a value on what he's done at Alabama, which he would have done if LSU kept him there. So we've won a couple championships since him, but we would have probably had 4 or 5 more with him. So,
hey, speaking of breaking news, I think we got some. Yeah, we got some breaking news coming across right now from the Boot Hill Sports Network. Come the 19th, Hayti and Carruthersville will play each other in the Battle of the Boot Hill that was not supposed to happen.
All right.
But they have rescheduled the game, and it will take place in Carruthersville. You do have to buy tickets, so you need to make sure you get out there and get your tickets. So that's a good thing. I'm glad to see that happening. Of course, Carruthersville was kicked out of the Boot Hill Conference this year. Won't be able to
play in a tournament. One-year deal, or?
Yes. As far as right now, it's just a 1-year deal in all sports, though. So,
great.
But look forward to that, as I have a trophy back here as well to present to the winner. We do have a new Battle of the Boot Hill basketball trophy that we will be presenting that night, courtesy of the Boot Hill Sports Network.
All right.
So there we go. Hey, breaking news right here, only on the Boot Hill Sports Network. Your local high school sports right here on Boot Hill Sports Network. All right, Dougie, let's get down to some basketball business, baby.
Hey,
Kenny's good. Go
before we
ahead.
go in, before we go into that, I was just wondering, who do you think Clemson's going to hire after Dabo leaves for Bama?
Man, I don't know. Names I'm hearing for Bama are, of course, Lane Kiffin out of Ole Miss,
His name
and
comes up with every job.
yeah, Steve Sarkeesian out of Texas. So, hey, that right there, he just came from Bama to go to Texas. So, and studied under Nick
Yeah,
Saban. Actually, Saban kind of saved his life with that. I don't know if you watched the special uh,
yeah,
where Saban makes all his coaches go through the heart test and all that, and Steve had to have surgery, man, and saved his life there, man. He had what's called a widowmaker there.
yeah.
So,
Well, he had a drinking problem too.
yeah,
It had been documented, well documented. He'd had a drinking problem before, and Saban gave him that second chance and kind of turned his life around. And then,
yes, he
like
did.
you're saying, yeah, he's done that with a lot of people. He's a great coach. I didn't like Alabama, but too
Yeah,
much
you
last
did there
several
for you.
years.
You did there for a couple years.
Yeah, last several years I've grown to dislike him even more. But yeah, he's a great coach for sure.
Be interesting, though, because also Lanning out of Oregon could be somebody to look at.
Yeah,
The guy out of Washington, uh, I can't think of his name right now.
yeah,
DeBoer or something like that, right? Yeah.
right,
So, man, I mean, there's some good candidates out there, man. You're gonna have to poach them,
right.
but we all know money talks, right?
It does, but who wants to
LSU's
follow?
out there spending it, ain't they?
Yeah, oh yeah. Got old Bo Davis from Texas, defensive line coach tonight
And
or
you got the
today.
Missouri defensive coordinator as well.
Missouri Baker, the defensive coordinator. So we definitely need to address that area for sure.
Yeah, no
So
doubt, because LSU would have had a defense this year, been a different story.
yeah,
They definitely had the offense to
been a
keep up with
big week.
anybody.
Been a big week. Got a commitment from Bryce Underwood, the number one player, the number one quarterback for 25. So
Yeah.
now that's just a commitment. It's not signed, but it's a verbal commitment. So hopefully everything stays pat. So we'll have the number one quarterback, wide receiver, and running back for the 25 class. So the future of the offense looks pretty good. But
Yeah,
we
what
just
if Harbaugh leaves for the NFL? Who gets that Michigan job?
I don't know. I've heard rumors that Kelly might look look to that, and Underwood is from Michigan. So he might would flip if Kelly goes to
Yes,
Michigan.
he is from
But
Michigan.
yeah, so nothing's in ink, or they're not on campus yet. But I'm kind of excited to hear the commitments looking good. Future's looking good.
Yeah.
So
Hey, speaking of the other guys, Josh has been hired as hitting instructor for his high school team there where he lives. So he is
wow,
in the hitting cage as we speak with those boys who are getting ready for baseball in about, I guess, a month and a half,
wow.
probably. I don't know. Yeah, won't be
30,
long, will it?
37 days from LSU baseball.
There you go. And then
Nobody's
Johnny,
counting though.
I guess Johnny's in his night clothes in bed. He said he got to get up at 3 a.m. He needs his beauty sleep. We all know that.
Oh yeah, he did. He should have been in bed days ago. We tried to do
And Kenny's our sideline reporter tonight at the Memphis Tiger game, where currently Memphis was down by 2 at the halftime. He's going to jump on here a little bit later when he gets done there. So here we are going to talk about our first full week of basketball. And I know right now the first game on the schedule is the Tennessee Vols, who are now going to be 11-4, taking on the Georgia Bulldogs, who I have as 11-3. I don't know if Georgia played tonight. I haven't seen anything on them. They might play tomorrow night. But Tennessee has a 3-game win streak coming into this series, but the last 10 are 5-5. So it makes you kind of wonder,
it.
home field, home court, excuse me. Matchup predictor has Tennessee winning by 77% and Georgia at 23%. Of course, Tennessee really looking at their schedule. Ole Miss was really the only big opponent, and they beat Ole Miss handily 90-64 in good old Rocky Top. And Georgia schedule not too tough right now. They, of course, Mizzou was on their schedule. They beat Mizzou 75-68 at Mizzou, so that's a good win. Mizzou, of course, down a little bit this year from last year. But with that being said, I think Rocky Top's going to recover and win this one on the road. Well, I'm taking the Vols. Johnny is also taking the Tennessee Vols.
Yeah, I think after this loss, that'll wake them up a little bit. They got this kid named Connect, and he definitely can connect to the goal, man. He's pretty good. I think he's a freshman this year, but
He's averaging 15.1 a game.
yeah, he's a really good team. Both teams they hold each other. They hold their opponents under 70 points. So Georgia's much improved this year. So this should be a good defensive battle. I don't know the over under on this. I looked for the spreads and the over and under, and I couldn't find them on ESPN. But
I don't have them on my sheet either.
Yeah, but I would lean the under because, like I say, both of these are pretty good defensive teams and hold their opponents to under 70 points a game. But I'm going to go with Tennessee too. I think Tennessee bounced, but even though it's in Athens, I think Tennessee bounces back, and Rick Barnes there has them ready to go, and they win.
Yeah. Rick Barnes, of course, good coach there, man. Former Texas coach. All right, next one, we're going to go talk about your Tar Heels and the Syracuse Orange. Syracuse 10-4, 1-2 in the conference, and North Carolina at 11-3, 3-0 in the conference. They are currently playing North Carolina State Wolfpack, where the score is 54-48 with 8:12 to go. And since 1957, Doug, now these two teams have only played 22 times, and I guess they played a lot more since Syracuse has joined the ACC. So,
Yeah.
But Syracuse is 6-16 against the Tar Heels and 0-6 at Chapel Hill. This game is at Chapel Hill. Matchup predictor: Syracuse 9.1%.
I saw that.
North Carolina 90.9. All right, man. With that being said, I don't think it's a no-brainer. It don't seem like Syracuse could win at Chapel Hill, so I'm taking North Carolina, and Johnny's taking North Carolina as well.
I can't believe you finally took North Carolina. You said you wouldn't do it, but look at that. You want them points, ain't you?
There you go. That's right.
Yeah, I think North Carolina, I'm trying to watch it. I'm trying to keep a little bit of one eye on the game and one eye here. You know, we're in a battle right here. This on the road, and NC State's a pretty good team. 11-3, 3-0. This first time they say these two have met 3-0 in the conference since the 70s. Both up teams undefeated in the conference. But with this game we're talking about, Syracuse, that matchup zone, you know, Boeheim's gone, so I think that would give us trouble some. But now without Boeheim, Syracuse 10-4, they're off to a decent start. What worries me, they average 9.2 steals per game. Syracuse does. That's a lot.
Yeah, they do.
We've been a little sloppy tonight. So we've been better this year overall on turnovers, but I think we got R.J. Davis, who last I checked, he was leading the ACC in scoring. And I think him and Baycott and Harrison Ingram, the transferred, Cormac Ryan transferred from Notre Dame. Them guys, I think they're going to be ready. I got UNC winning.
There you go. R.J. Davis is averaging 20.6 points per game, shooting 43% from the field and 95.1 from the stripe.
Yeah, he doesn't hardly miss a free throw, that's for sure. And North Carolina, they're being held down a little bit tonight. Sloppy play, a little bit of missed open shots, but they are number 11 in the nation in overall offensive efficiency with over 84 points per game they average. So they're going to get it back going at home. They'll get back home. I think we played at Pittsburgh. I think we're 3-0, and only one of those games has been at home. So it's going to be good to get back home.
Always good to be back in Chapel Hill.
Oh, yeah.
At Dean Smith
Dome. Dean Dome.
All right, man. Next, we're going to move to the Big Ten, where the Northwestern Wildcats are 11-3, 2-1 in the conference, taking on The number 15 team in the nation, the Wisconsin Badgers. Wisconsin at 11-3, 3-0 in the conference. Since 2010, Wisconsin is 17-6, and they're on a 2-game losing streak. Oh, however, so matchup predictor has Northwestern at 18.4%, Wisconsin at 81.6%. Northwestern's last 5 games, of course, they're 4-1. They lost to Illinois in a blowout, 96-66 at
Illinois,
Illinois.
good team. That's a
Yes,
good
they
team.
are. Wisconsin, they lost to a Arizona Wildcat team and back in December, 96-73, and then they've gone and win 4 in a row, beating Jacksonville State, Charleston, Iowa, 83-72, and Nebraska, 88-72. So Johnny is going to go with Wisconsin, and I'm going to go with Wisconsin as well. And you're talking about over and under. These two teams also hold their opponents to under 70. So should be just a Big Ten, slow pace defensive game.
Yeah, that Wisconsin defense every year, they
Yeah,
they put you through the grind, man. They don't give you an easy shot. They make it hard on you every second of every possession. They do. But Northwestern got this kid, man, named Boo Bowie. He's averaging 18.1 points and right at 5 assists a game. And one player in basketball can change a game and make a difference. But I'm gonna go with the community lock again. This is the third one in a row. I'm gonna have Wisconsin because I just think their defense, being playing at home. If this game was at Northwestern, I would go with them. I'd give them a slight edge.
right,
But
sure.
being in Madison, I think Wisconsin, that crowd and that defense, I think they dig in. They just make it hard on old Boo Bowie. So
Boo boo.
boo boo and Northwestern. I think they're gonna lose a battle.
Yeah, he's averaging 18-1. He's 44% from field goal range and then 86 from stripe. So some
Yeah.
good numbers there from
And what's impressive, he scores that much, but 5 assists a game.
yeah.
So he shares the ball too.
He
That tells you.
distributes the rock, baby.
Yeah, that's another 10+ points. He's really accredited for in the game. But I don't think he's gonna. I think Wisconsin's gonna key in on him, and they're gonna hold him down. So
All right, next one we're going to move to the Big East. This is St. John's Red Storm, 11-4, 3-1 in the conference, taking on the number 22 team in the nation, the Creighton Blue Jays, who are 12-4, 3-2 in the conference. Though matchup predictor St. John's 12.9%, Creighton 87.1. St. John's is 10-17 against Creighton, and they are 1-11 at Creighton's place. So they do not like to go to Omaha, obviously. And they are a 6-game losing streak. So you have to go all the way back to 2019-2020 season before St. John's beat Creighton. And that was pre-COVID. So it's been a while.
Hey, who wants to go to Omaha unless it's College World Series?
That's right. That's right. That's baseball town, ain't it, buddy?
That's right.
Yeah. And the St. John's last 5, they beat Villanova 81-71, Butler 86-70, Hofstra 84-79, lost to Connecticut, but only by 4. So St. John's can't play basketball.
Yeah.
And they beat Xavier 81-66. Creighton's last 5. Back in December, they lost to that Villanova team 68-66 in overtime. They lost to Marquette 72-67. Then they would go on a winning streak, beating Georgetown, Providence, and DePaul. Seton Hall is, of course, leading the conference there. UConn is number 2. St. John's is 3. So St. John's is up statistically in the conference standings. But with Creighton at home, and this don't look like St. John's can play in Omaha. As I said, they're 1-11 down there. So I'm going to take Creighton. Johnny's going to take Creighton as well.
I tell you what, though, You got a new sheriff in town in St. John's in Madison Square Garden in New York City. There, his name's Rick Pitino, and I don't care if it's Iona, Louisville, Kentucky, where he's coaching. He gonna have his team ready to play, and they're gonna play some ball. It's gonna be interesting, but I with all that being said, we're going to all agree again because Creighton shoots the ball 5% better at field goal percentage for a team, and they have the better defensive statistics. Now it could be some schedule. That Villanova win was a good win for St. John's and Rick, but I'm going to go with Creighton to win this game, being it's at home. If it was in Madison Square Garden, I think I'd probably go a little different, but I'll go with the home team again.
Yeah, you look at the points scored. That's 1.1. Was it? No, 1 point difference there, 79 to 80. Man, so that is close. And points allowed, St. John's allows 69, Creighton allows 65. So should be a good one there in the Big East, man. I'll tell you. And I sure cannot get used to that name, the Red Storm. I still want to call them the Redmen.
I still call them the Red Men. I think back to Chris Mullen, man. I used to love that team back then. Chris
Yeah. Weddington, Chris Mullen,
yeah.
the Final Four team.
Oh yeah, yeah, I loved it. Well, Luke Pontiac.
Yeah, the old sweater.
Yeah, he was a good one.
All right, now we're going to move on. Out on the West Coast is San Diego State, 14-2, 3-0 in the conference, taking on New Mexico Lobos. New Mexico 13-3 in the conference. I'm sorry, 13-3 overall, 1-2 in the conference. Matchup predictor: San Diego 37.7%, New Mexico 62.3%. Since 1999, San Diego State has 27 wins. New Mexico has 25. So, difference of one there, man. And so, to me, that makes me feel like the home court advantage. And with that matchup predictors, got me wondering. I originally was going to pick San Diego State, but I changed my pick to New Mexico. Johnny's going to take San Diego State as well.
Yeah, I looked at this one. San Diego State, the ranked team and all that. They got a kid, Jaden Ledee, averages 22 a game. He's a scorer. He can put it in the basket. And they've won 7 in a row, San Diego State Aztecs have. But, man, New Mexico, they got a place, and it's called the Pit. And it's hard to play in there. It's a hard place to go in there and win. And so with it being there, I'm going to go with New Mexico. I'm going with the home team as well. I think we have a little bit of an upset here. I'm going to go with New Mexico to win this
Down
game
in
outright.
Albuquerque, as Jim
Yeah,
Valvano would say.
Albuquerque, New Mexico,
There
Ducks.
you go. Hey, update: North Carolina has now stretched that lead to 61-48 there.
Oh yeah, I'm loving it. So Heels.
Hey, we're moving right along tonight, baby, with two-man crew. Be a short and sweet show to hear tonight. All right, now we're going to move to the Big 12, I believe it is. Houston and TCU. Houston 14-1, 1-1 in the conference, taking on those Horned Frogs, who are 11-3, 0-1 in the conference. Houston has a 80.9% on the matchup predictor. TCU 19.1. Last 5, Houston is 4-1, losing to Iowa State. Of course, we talked about that earlier. Losing their first game of the year, 57-53. TCU's last 5, they lost a heartbreaker at KU, 83-81. That's really the only competition they've had on their schedule here. Is they beat ODU 111-87 in a high-scoring game. Point-wise, they do score 85. Houston scores 75. With it being home at TCU, I'm going to take another upset here. I'm going TCU. Johnny's going Houston.
Yeah, Houston coming off a loss. Well, both teams are coming off a loss, but Houston TCU, well, they average 10 more a game, but Houston holds their opponents to 17 less a game scoring than TCU does. That defense of Houston, I think, is going to be the difference in this game, and they're going to be a little mad coming off the loss. I think they go in there, not that far of a trip from Houston up to Dallas or whatever TCU is there.
Fort Worth. Yes, Dallas.
Fort Worth, Dallas, Fort Worth area. Yeah, that area
Yeah.
there. Uh, I think Houston's going to go in there and right the ship, and I'm going to take Houston.
Uh,
Defense wins that game, and Houston's going to have more of it.
all right, next one we got the Cincinnati Bearcats at 12-3, 1-1 in the conference against the 14 team in the nation, the Baylor Bears. Baylor at 13-2, 2-0 in the conference. Baylor on the matchup predictor 78.3%. Cincinnati 21.7. Last five, Cincinnati lost to Texas 74-73, beat BYU, beat Evansville, beat Stetson, and then beat somebody in the opening game, Merrimack maybe, 65-49. Baylor's last five beat BYU. They beat Oklahoma State in overtime by a score of 75-70. And they lost to Duke earlier in the year, 78-70. Of course, Duke playing good ball here lately, struggled early on. But with that being said, I'm going to take Baylor at home. Go Bears.
What you
Johnny
got?
is going to take Baylor as well.
You got Baylor too. Well, yeah, it's Cincinnati's first year in the Big 12. Also, they lost that heartbreaker to Texas. So
Yeah.
I think they're kind of let down now. They got to go to Waco. Scott Drew's going to have that team. There's a couple games where it looked like a totally different team, but they've now won 4 in a row since they lost 2 out of 3 there or something. They lost to Duke, and then they lost another one that I kind of expect them to win. I can't remember who that other one was that beat them. It wasn't a bad loss, but I think Baylor, they're shooting over 51% as a team. They got a good offense, they got a good coach, and they're going to be at home. I think they're going to handle this game pretty. Yeah, I'd say close to 10. I give them a 10-point, close to 10-point win.
There you go, people. You better head down to the casino and get that bet in. 10-point win.
You take that to the bank. Lock up.
That's your master lock of the week. There you go.
Yeah.
Well, all right, man. That's all we got game wise. You got anything else you want to talk about, Dougie?
Yeah. Did you skip Oklahoma, Texas, or Kansas?
Oh, did I? Let me see.
You gave me that one earlier.
Yeah, I did skip it.
It's the only top 10, I guess. Top 10.
Yeah, I skipped it. Yeah, you're right. All right, so it's going to be Oklahoma at 13-1, 1-0 in the conference against Kansas, who is now 13-2, 1-1 in the conference, getting beat earlier. OU has a 30.5%, Kansas 69.5. Since 2000, OU is 9-31 against the Jayhawks. 2-18 at Kansas. So I think that just tells me enough. They can't win at Allen Fieldhouse. So I'm taking KU, and Johnny's taking KU as well.
Yeah, I don't like to pick KU.
I don't either.
Their only loss so far is this year to them Tar Heels, so that's a good season they got going. 13-1, only lost to North Carolina. I mean, that's not anytime you lose North Carolina, it's nothing to hang your head about. A lot of teams do that, but Oklahoma, they average more points per game, and they average holding their opponents to less points per game than Kansas. And I think Kansas is a little bit overrated, but a stat that really stuck out to me about Kansas is they average 21.3 assists per game as a team. They share that ball, man. I mean, that over 20 assists a game, when you average that, That's a lot. That means you're getting an assist on a lot of baskets. 'Cause if those are only 2-point baskets, that's 42 points, and some of them are 3-point baskets that they assist on. So you're probably looking at 50 or so of their points are assisted points. They really share the ball. And coming off this loss and being at home, I'm going to have to, Baz, I hate it. And I hope I'm wrong because I want Oklahoma to win because that'll be a better win look for North Carolina, at the end of the year. But I'm going to go with Kansas to win.
Better go find Billy Tubbs if you want to beat Kansas.
That's right, man. He has some Oklahoma teams going, didn't he?
Man, didn't he? He had Mizzou's number too, boy. I couldn't stand it.
Yeah. He had a lot of teams' number.
Yeah, you got that right.
And they like to score some points with him.
Yes, they did.
Let's see if we can get 100.
All right, man. That concludes our picks for this week. Anything else?
That pretty much covers it. It's been a wild week in sports for sure. I never saw the GOAT retiring, but he's gone.
Yeah, there was some rumors out there before that game, so I think he must have let somebody know what was going to happen, man.
Right.
You know how information gets leaked.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Nobody can keep a secret anymore.
No, you got that right. But
it's going
whoever's going to get that job, got some big shoes to fill, brother.
They won't fill them.
No.
It's going to be a step down no matter who it is. They'll get a good coach and they'll get who they want, I'm sure, but it's going to be a step down from Saban. I mean, there's nowhere you can go from that but down.
My guess is going to be Sarkisian from Texas. That's who I would. Yeah, that's who I think.
I guarantee you he'd take it.
Oh, yeah, sure. Yeah. And he knows the system, so there you go.
Right. It wouldn't be a bad hire.
No. Look what he did for Texas this year.
Yeah.
He's really turned that program back around, got them going the right direction.
Yeah, he does. But he's got a good team coming back too.
Yeah,
he's got yours coming back, man. He's sitting there looking pretty good for next year. So I don't know. It'd be hard to turn that Alabama job down.
What if he goes to Alabama and takes Arch Manning with him?
Hey, yeah, that could happen.
It could happen.
Very well could happen.
That'd be exciting, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would.
Be some pissed off people down there in Louisiana, boy.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, Dougie, thanks for joining me tonight. That's Doug Edwards. I'm Mark Bentley saying so long for I'll Take the Over podcast right here.
Go Heels.
Go Heels Sport. Go Blue Devils.